South Asia is fascinating in many ways. It is home to some of the most extraordinary lives in the world, and often these unique lives come to the spotlight through unusual events in their cities. One such example is Pakistan, a country known for its dense population and the challenges that arise from it, leading to a chaotic experience of daily life. According to various studies conducted by official institutions, Pakistan ranks as one of the most polluted countries in the world, with severe air quality issues. The country's surface area is approximately 796,000 square kilometers, and it is home to an astonishing population of 240 million people. To put this in perspective, consider the density of this population in relation to your own country. Envision 240 million individuals living in an area of around 800,000 square kilometers. While there are places with even higher population densities, such as Bangladesh, the consequences of overpopulation are evident in Pakistan. A notable example of this is the city of Lahore, located in the eastern part of the country. Each year, Lahore competes with Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, for the title of the most polluted city in the world. Consequently, Lahore is often referred to as the dustiest city. Lahore is the second largest city in Pakistan, with a population of over 13 million people. If you're curious about just how chaotic, unhygienic, and noisy a city can be, join us in this video as we explore Lahore and determine if it truly is the most polluted city in the world. In the early morning, we can see a street where there are no garbage containers in sight. Instead, trash is piled in bags along the side of the road, attracting flies. This not only contributes to environmental pollution, but also releases unpleasant odors. To make matters worse, just beyond this garbage dump, a butcher is slaughtering meat in the open air. The foul gases emitted by the garbage can reach the area where the meat is processed, raising concerns about contamination. When we examine the environment where the meat is sold, we see that it is exposed to open air, dust, and exhaust fumes. And it's important to familiarize yourself with this if you plan to live there. Ultimately, the decision to purchase meat is yours. However, one thing to note is that when you take a camera out and start shooting in the streets, people often smile at you. Despite the area's cleanliness issues, the residents seem to maintain a positive outlook, as they frequently greet you with smiles or hellos when they notice the camera. Motorcycles are the preferred mode of transportation for many people due to their practicality, resulting in constant noise from them throughout the daytime. In Lahore alone, there are over 6 million vehicles on the road, with approximately 4.2 million of them being motorcycles. Consequently, wherever you look in Lahore, you'll see dozens or even hundreds of motorcycles. The incessant honking can be quite overwhelming. Drivers frequently honk their horns, and during traffic jams, it's common for them to keep honking until the congestion clears. Additionally, the exhaust fumes from these vehicles can create unpleasant odors in the air. If the sound of honking horns annoys you, expect to be overwhelmed by noise on your first day in Lahore, Pakistan. This contributes significantly to the city's noise pollution. Details like these highlight the real pollution issues in Lahore. The high volume of vehicles not only generates dust, but also releases harmful exhaust gases into the air. Many roads are old and poorly maintained, causing dust to be kicked up at every point where vehicles pass, affecting the health of residents. Some people claim that spending a day in Lahore is equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes. Both international organizations and the World Health Organization recommend wearing masks while walking around the city. Given the severity of air pollution in Lahore, measured at 16 times above the levels deemed acceptable by the World Health Organization, it is advisable not to engage in outdoor exercises. Additionally, you should keep the windows of your home or hotel room closed and wear double-layer masks when outside. Particles that are 2.5 microns in size or smaller are classified as PM 2.5. This category includes dirt, smoke, dust, sand, and liquid droplets present in the air. In Lahore, Pakistan, the average air pollution index for PM 2.5 is about 300, and it can sometimes reach as high as 400. In contrast, an average city with clean air typically has PM 2.5 values around 20 to 25. Consequently, in Lahore, the concentration of particles in the air and the amount inhaled into the lungs is at least 16 times higher than in cleaner cities. Scientists advise that cities with daily PM 2.5 values above 50 are unsafe for residents and should be avoided. Any value exceeding 50 poses a direct threat to human health. In Lahore, when the air pollution index reaches the 400s, schools are closed, and there are significant disruptions in education and business sectors. It can be concluded that it is extremely difficult for asthma patients to live in Lahore. Research indicates that at least 128,000 people die each year in Lahore due to air pollution, with many succumbing to respiratory issues such as asthma, bronchitis, and lung cancer. Some residents are so aware of this crisis that they regularly wear masks, even though the pandemic is nearly over. For them, the danger of air pollution in Lahore is far greater than the threat posed by the pandemic, as they risk life-threatening respiratory infections at any moment. These are, of course, the reported numbers, and it is claimed that the actual figures may be much higher. People living in Lahore are expected to have a life expectancy that is 7 years shorter than the global average. For instance, if the average life expectancy in your country is 70 years, people in Lahore may only live to be around 60 years old. The city is often covered in dust, affecting signboards, stores, cars, and products on display. As a result, shopkeepers must continuously clean their packaged goods to remove the dust. If the dust is not cleaned off, it can turn into mud over time, rendering the products unsellable. Additionally, Lahore lacks sufficient greenery. It is primarily an industrial city and is home to many of Pakistan's most important factories. The chemicals released by these factories cause significant harm to the plants and trees within the city. Returning to the city's atmosphere, it is essential to highlight that Lahore faces major challenges regarding hygiene and cleanliness. Animals, such as donkeys that serve as porters, often rest in areas filled with garbage. These donkeys are part of the traffic in the city, sharing the roads with motorcycles and cars. Shopkeepers rely on these animals to transport goods using primitive wheeled carts. Sadly, both the donkeys and stray animals like cats and dogs appear unhealthy and weak in Lahore. When you observe them closely, it becomes apparent that many are emaciated. The ones that are better off often use motorcycles to transport their cargo. Some of these motorcycles are equipped with a two-passenger apparatus at the back, reminiscent of the tuk-tuks found in Vietnam and Thailand. In Pakistan, these motorcycles serve as a means of short-distance transportation, functioning like taxis. However, it's important to be cautious with these vehicles, as they can pose risks in the event of a collision. For instance, a vehicle involved in an accident might be seen on the road while the driver waits for assistance. Due to the high population density, traffic accidents in Pakistan are challenging to avoid, and they occur daily in cities like Lahore. Additionally, there are significant issues with the concept of traffic lights in Lahore. Cars, motorcycles, and pedestrians often converge in a chaotic manner. Instead of adhering to pedestrian paths and traffic signals, people navigate the streets based on spontaneous decisions, which further contributes to the disorder. This chaos leads to frequent traffic accidents and, unfortunately, loss of life. All around, motorcycles, cars, and commercial vehicles weave through the crowded streets. There is no traffic light system on the streets, so you must be very careful when crossing the road. It's essential to keep an eye on your surroundings, particularly on the ground, because you might step on something unexpected. You could encounter leftover food, a dead pigeon, or even a dead mouse. The municipal services in the city seem to be lacking, as it's not uncommon to come across dead animals. Stray dogs and cats in Lahore often feed on scraps of garbage, and it seems no one takes care of them. Living in such conditions makes it difficult for them to survive without getting sick. If you look up, you'll notice an abundance of hawks and eagle-like birds. With food, waste, and garbage littering every corner of Lahore, the city has become a feeding ground for these wild birds. These birds of prey often land on the ground in search of something to eat. Lahore can be overwhelming for newcomers, especially those from Western countries. The environment is filled with unpleasant sights and smells, from stray cats and dogs to the remains of butchers and fishermen's waste, as well as mosquitoes, donkeys, and even dead rats. The chaotic traffic and torrential rains only add to the difficulty of life in the city, making it feel unbearable at times. Local residents may have grown accustomed to these conditions, but for someone new to Lahore, adjusting to the frequent floods and the challenges of urban life can be quite difficult. When it rains, some farmers frantically try to save their crops, while commuters struggle to navigate the congested streets to get home as quickly as possible. Others simply wait for the storm to pass. Like many South Asian countries, Pakistan experiences heavy rainfall that sometimes leads to devastating floods, causing significant hardships for its people. If you look around, you will notice that Pakistanis tend to wear long clothing, regardless of whether they are men or women. In particular, I noticed that men, including older men and boys, do not typically wear Western attire such as pants, t-shirts, or shorts. I didn't see any during my time there. Instead, they wear long, flowing garments reminiscent of shower-style dresses. This style may be influenced by their religious beliefs, as Afghanistan shares a similar dress code, and both countries have adopted Islam. These garments resemble a colorful variation of the white abayas worn by Arab men. They likely offer comfort and allow for easy movement of the legs and arms. Additionally, the shoe culture in Pakistan might appear different to Westerners, as people here often wear slippers on the streets instead of comfortable sneakers. This choice is probably connected to their cultural habits. This brings us to the end of the video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.